Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. This video is a continuation on from the very last video when I asked you about colour combinations, so we are going retro, I think. So this is another semi-long, half-long video, and I'm going to be using a lot of different colours, and I'm going to be using these silicone squeezy cups. They honestly are the best thing for Jesmonite and resin. They're so easy to clean. I can just shake it all out or peel it all out. So easy. I was thinking about using my squeezy bottles for the Jesmonite, but I'm not going to. I think they're just too much hassle to clean. So here's the thing, your colour suggestions were along the lines of yellow and purple was one of them, so I definitely want to try yellow and purple, so bright yellow Jesmonite with purple resin. And I think one or two of you said retro style, and yeah, and I think retro style is subjective, isn't it, to when you were born. So my idea of retro is very 70s, like oranges and browns, blues and browns and things like that. So I'm gonna go along those lines as well, so yellows, oranges, blues, browns, red and white as well. And I thought we'd just have fun and see what we can do. The hardest thing for me is making Jesmonite in small, and I mean tiny batches. If I only want a tiny bit of Jesmonite, it's actually so tricky. And I think I made this and it started to thicken up on me, so please excuse the obscured view right now, but the view does get better in the video. The yellow was getting thicker and I was panicking, so I was trying to get it out of there really quickly. So that is bright yellow Jesmonite pigment. Every pigment I use in this video is the Jesmonite pigment. It's nothing else. I'm not using any other pigment apart from branded Jesmonite pigment. So again, excuse my hand in shot there. I decided to go with some red. And I mean, we know we can use 2% pigment in our Jesmonite to get it to its brightest shade. So if you want real white, or you know, a red, then you need to add that 2%. Some pigments are stronger than others, so don't really need 2%, but white and black, you definitely need the 2%. So here I am again. I've got no real vision with these apart from I want patterns and lines and just differences. I decided to do a lot of the stripes, so lay down the stripes, and for the last three I'm gonna make a teal. So blue, if you don't know, is my favorite color on planet Earth. There are so many shades of blue, I don't know how you can't love it. So I decided to make a teal. Now a teal is, I think it's 2 drops blue to 1 drop green on the Jesmonite pigment, but really my suggestion would be create your colour in your liquid first until you get the right shade that you want, and then you can add the powder. I think the hardest thing for me was to decide what backing colour I wanted, because honestly the first colours came quite easy, but it was the backing colours that I struggled with, like what really would go with it. I'm going to use colours from the Colour Cottage. Now these are amazing micas. I've got purple, I've got brown, and I thought I'd go brown with the blue because they're nature colours, so they go together. But then I thought, how about I use some mica powder to brush the mould as well? So we're going to get a combination of the matte Jesmonite, we're going to get that shimmery mica powder brushed in, and then we'll get the super shine from the resin. I figured I might as well just try it all in one video and see what happens. So here you see me brushing in the gold. Now this Jesmonite has probably been sitting here about 20 minutes so far at this point. Again, we're not leaving it overnight, we're pouring the resin straight in after around 30 to 40 minutes, and because we know now that it works from my previous video. And here we are brushing gold in. This one here, I wasn't sure, I just thought, oh, shove it in the corners and around the edges and just see what results we get. And I really was excited, but the whole time throughout doing this, I was like, right, what backing colours? What backing colours? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I don't know why, I really wanted to do an orange and brown together. And honestly, it wasn't until demold I realised I hadn't done it. So I was a bit like, where was your mind? But yeah, hey, we're all here to have fun. Let me know in the comment section what colour combinations you would do for a retro vibe, a retro feel. Let me know what colours you see as retro. For me, orange and brown just screamed the carpet that we had in the 70s. It was orange and brown and the walls were orange. So that is where the orange came from. The red reminded me of the early Coca-Cola. No, I shouldn't really brand name anything here, but you know the Pepsi and the Coca-Cola days, the early days of that. That reminded me of that. But here I am, voiceover Claire, ignoring what my hand is doing on screen. I was toying with the idea of putting different colours in the layers so that Jesmonite is creating a natural barrier. So at this point I thought, oh, that's what I could do. I could add the different colours into those different sections and just see what the results are going to be. Either they're going to be the ugliest things I've ever made in my life, or they're going to be quite cool. So here is the purple and yellow. This was a requested colour, so that is for you. And I decided to go and add some of the purple in with the brown and orange because I thought, why not? This was giving me Austin Powers vibes, which is kind of retro, right? The whole Austin Powers thing is all about the 60s and 70s and those bright colours and yeah, flower power. This one here, I decided to just add brown either side of those Jesmonite lines and then fill the rest up with white. Again, I'm not entirely sure why I did that. I think I was running out of brown. So this is like, obviously voiceover Claire, a whole day later, not remembering what happened 24 hours ago. But yeah, I know that brown and blue go together. So I knew that those blue ones really had to have a brown backing. At this point, I thought, I've tried gold powder. Why don't I try blue powder in this one? So these are different blues. We've got kind of like a bluey teal. And what I'm putting in now is like an aqua turquoise. So I was still hoping that they would show that it wouldn't be one completely the same colour when I demold. Shouldn't be, but yeah. At this point, I realised I had overfilled this one, so I just used my lollipop stick to, yeah, as you can see, I'm just scraping some out and pouring it into the next one because it really was on the verge of pouring out itself. I domed it too much and then went ahead and filled this one up with brown. And honestly, at this point, I'm already loving the blue and brown combo. So obviously this is voiceover Claire. I know the results already, but I already knew that I was more happy and confident about the browns and the blues together working out, whereas the other colours I was a bit nervous about what they were going to look like. So here I am. I've got to the point now where I've got no plan. I've got no plan. I can't do yellow and brown together because that would remind me of my school uniform and I point blank refuse to go back there. So I'm not doing yellow and brown together, even though I think they'd go. But I decided to go with black. So the final three are just going to be backfilled with neat opaque black pigment. This is from Resin. So I'm using colours from Resin here and mica powders from Colour Cottage. The white pigment is also Resin, which I've run out of, virtually run out of. I need to get some more white pigment. And that is it. We are full up. I've done it. I'm not sure how they're going to turn out at this point when I was filming. So I'm going to just leave them now for 24 hours. I used up all my resin. So I'm using is Vista Turbo, which is the fast cure. So this is going to cure in 4 hours, 5 hours. But I decided, obviously, I don't want to waste resin. So I'm going to pour it into the hearts. And you can see there's also some teal Jesmonite poured into the hearts. This one, the back of this reminds me of like a mocha, like a coffee. This one here, how gorgeous does that look? It looks like coffee and cream. But yeah, I sprinkled some white resin. I did the stripes. And then I poured the black on top, and these are looking very interesting at this point. And Vista Turbo doesn't blend like other resins, so I'm hoping I've still got some defined lines. Okay, 24 hours later, demold. Disc number 1. This was the requested purple and yellow. This is giving me 60s vibes, twiggy vibes, Am I wrong? I don't know. I wasn't around in the 60s, but this is definitely giving me 60s vibe. And I love that it's very similar to the blue that I made before. This is the black and yellow. Now, we got some seepage again, and I think someone suggested that could be down to Jesmonite shrinking a bit, coming away from the edges, coming away from the mould maybe. But I'm not altogether mad about it. The black and the yellow obviously reminds me of a bumblebee, and I'm thinking I should have done stripes, but then I wasn't planning on doing bumblebees. I'm loving this. I'm loving the red and black. It doesn't look very red here. Yeah, the red wasn't that red, and I ended up going with a pink as well. But this one here, I love it. I love it. It gives me Coca-Cola vibes. It really does. It gives me that old feeling. And I think when I was 20 or 21, I just loved the colours red and white together. I remember having like red trainers and a white bag, and oh my gosh, tragic. But here is the other one. This was also red. It doesn't look very red here, and I got a lot of holes where the resin didn't quite meet the Jesmonite, but this is the red and purple. And I think red and purple screams, again, it screams Austin Powers. I don't know, let me know what you think. This one here, I don't know, this one just made me laugh. I hated this one when I first demolded, but it has grown on me because it's retro. It's giving me retro vinyl record vibes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about that one. Very odd. These intrigued me. So because this is Vista Turbo resin, it has a very fast cure, which means the resin doesn't get much time to blend. And wow, it reminds me of an animal print stroke marble maybe. And look at this defined line. Now, anyone who does resin knows you don't get this defined line when you mix and pour straight away with resin. You don't. Black takes over everything. But with Vista Turbo, because it's a fast cure, they didn't blend. They almost didn't budge. That gives me snowy scenes, like a snow landscape at night. And I think with stars in the sky, that would be gorgeous. And this one here. Meh, it's another meh from me, I'm afraid. There was some debris in the mould. Sometimes I try extra hard to get rid of debris in my moulds, and yet there it is, showing up at the end result. But out of the black and whites, the monochromes, this one here is my absolute favourite, and I'm excited because I've done another 2 of those, so I get to demould those as well in the video. This one here, the colour combination, I knew I'd made the right choice. Absolutely my favourite. That teal, turquoise, aqua, whatever colour you want to call that, goes so well with the brown. And I love it. And that's why I'm leaving those browns and blues till the end, because I knew they were going to be my favourites. We've got another yellow and black here. Again, is it vintage? Is it retro? I don't know. I really don't know. This one blew me out of the water. I love this. I've already posted photos of this on my Instagram, and you guys are loving it too, so thank you so much. I'm definitely getting leather vibes. But this one, guys, this one, hands down, out of all of them, my favourite. We've got some seepage. We've got a little bit of discoloration in the mica powder, so we've got this darkness in the centre, but these two together, absolutely wow from me. I don't know if it's because I took extra time to do some patterns and put some thought behind them, or it is really the colours for me. The colours are my colours. I love them so much. So the one on the left, you can now see there's this dark discoloration in the centre. Could that be the Jesmonite sweating into the mica powder? I think possibly yes, but I don't care. Do I care? Absolutely not. It is stunning. I love them both. The one on the left, I don't even know how I got such sharp Jesmonite lines. I probably couldn't do that if I tried again, but these have given me some inspiration to carry on with the colour scheme, so that is my next plan. The black and whites surprised me. How much I love the 3 hearts in the centre, where I just drizzled on white resin and filled them with black. Let me know what you think. This is the overall picture, all of them together. I've kind of put them in order of my favourites, and yeah, I changed my mind a few times on the first two because I was like, oh, I don't know, I like that one more. No, I like the gold one more. But yeah, I cannot get over how pretty these are. The contrast between the shiny resin and the matte Jesmonite and the shimmery mica, definitely a combination that I am now going to explore and yeah, film more videos using that technique. But the half and halves, again, they don't fill me with like wow. This one here, again, I didn't like it on demold, but this is Voiceover Claire and I kind of grew to love it. I definitely saw how this was so much more retro than the others, like the black and yellow. I'm not feeling that vibe at all. The hearts came through. I don't know, can you describe what this looks like? I don't know if it just looks like snow or if it just looks like marble or animal pattern, but so happy and really intrigued at how little this Vista Turbo blends. It doesn't really blend. If this was a 24-hour cure resin, trust me, they would have been a blurry hot black mess because the black would have taken over. It takes over everything. But yeah, this one here, definitely retro for me. Loving it. As for the rest, I definitely have my favourites. I have my least favourites, but let me know what you think of the top three because they're my, yeah, I am so biased here. Loving them. I'm moving on with this colour scheme. I'm obsessed with the combination of the Jesmonite, mica and resin. Cannot wait. Thank you so much if you've stayed this long. Thank you for your suggestions on what I should do next. And yeah, let me know which one is your favourite, which one screams retro to you, and also what colours you think are retro. If you've stayed this long, then please think about hitting that subscribe button. It's fun here, you know you'll love it. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!